1,000 thank yous to my friends over at Squarespace for making today's video possible. Head over to squarespace.com/thediydesigner to get 10% off that website you've been dying to build. Now's the time. Hello. Happy Friday, guys. Welcome back to the DIY Designer. My name is Orly Shani. If you've never been to this channel, man, I'm so glad you found me. Welcome. Today we're going to be doing a really fun DIY that honestly anybody, regardless of your skill level, can do. This is one of those like mind-blowing ones that's so simple and has such a huge impact. So I'm stoked to share it with you guys. I was on Instagram the other day and I was on Morgan Stewart's page. You guys know Morgan? She hosts a show on E! Anyway, she had this photo of her in these like hot pink sandals and I sort of like zoomed in and I was like, what are these? These are cool. And she had tagged Christian Louboutin. So I went onto their website trying to find like a better photo of them and ended up stumbling across all of these pictures of heeled versions of them. So you can see they've got these really beautiful like silk ties around the ankles with like a big bow and it's sort of delicate and floppy. I came up with a way to do it where if you guys want to just go ahead and buy like a store-bought silk necktie and not sew it at all, I'll show you how to swap it out. But if you want to make your own or you want to do something like really fun and custom and match a dress or something for a party, whatever it is, I'll show you how to actually make the silk tie. It's super simple, perfect for summer, and totally interchangeable. So like 5 pairs of heels can become 20 pairs of heels. Okay guys, materials. All right, let's get right into it because this is just too easy for words. Okay, so the first thing you want is to take your heels and make sure you're using a pair that has like a casing that's holding the strap in place. Something that has a removable strap like this is what you want so that you can take out the old and now you have an open casing where you can put in the new. So it could be a wide one like those pink ones or just that tiny little strap in the back holding in a regular ankle strap. Make sure that you save all of these because there might be a time when you want to go back and put the original one back in, and that's the benefit, is that this whole project is fully interchangeable. So take your fabric, and in this case I thought this fabric would just look so cool with the olive green, so that's what I'm choosing. You want to decide on how wide you want your strap. However much you fold it over is how wide it will be. So you want it that small, fold it that much. I want mine about that wide, so I'm folding it in half to that width and just grabbing my scissors and making a little notch in the fabric. Now most of these silks, most of these fabrics will just rip clean. It saves you a ton of time not needing to sort of measure and cut and fold and all that stuff. Now we're gonna sew it closed, so make sure that you do right sides together, fold it in half, and just do a simple straight stitch all the way down the side. I would recommend giving yourself about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch seam allowance because some of these fabrics are so thin that they can kind of get like chewed up if you don't give yourself a nice even place for your presser foot. Make sure to double back always, but especially on ties like this. Now this is a wide enough strap that we don't need a safety pin or anything to flip it inside out. Just put your 2 fingers inside and keep kind of scrunching it along your fingers. Once you get as much as you can, sort of pinch it with your 2 fingers, keep it pinched and pull it straight through. It's gonna flip the whole thing inside out, and you can see there now we really have our tie ready to go. So it obviously is sort of like bubbly looking, which we don't want. It's time to press it, and this is gonna make all the difference. With your non-dominant hand, you wanna kind of roll it so that the seam is going to be on the side. Pressing it down with the iron, keep rolling it so that again, you don't have that like hollow bubbly look, you have that really clean, crisp look of a flat silk tie sort of ribbon here. You can see how much better it looks. Okay, so now it's time to finish up our ends. If you want to leave them squared off like this, you totally can, but I thought it would look really nice on an angle. That way when it's tied, those 2 little angles would hang down at the bottom of my bow. So I cut it at the same time, and now I'm folding it inside. We're gonna do a blind stitch. So I wanna show you that one more time. Open it up, fold it in, and then fold it back down in half the way we had it with our side seam on the side. You're going to pin it in place, and I'm gonna do, again here you can see, fold a little bit inside, right? We're folding it so that these little hems are facing hidden on the inside of our belt or strap. Keep doing it, fold it in with your finger until you end up with what looks fairly even and you can see that the seam is hidden on the inside. Just work on the tip there a little bit so that it looks nice and even. You might need to kind of finagle that a little bit, but you'll get the hang of it. Pin everything into place, and now it's time to hand sew. So this is how you do a blind stitch. Take your needle and enter it in through the inside so that the knot is hidden on the inside. Now, your very first one, you're gonna take your needle and you wanna slide it across the top so that it's hidden, right? It's going across that fold on the inside so that you can't see the stitch. Now go perpendicular to where your stitch came out. So you see I'm going directly across from it. Now you can see I'm running my needle, again, in the fold. So you see how you can't see the needle? I'm running along the fold and enter my needle out, and this creates one blind stitch. So look, I pull it tight, and now you can actually see that stitch a little bit, but I use this shot because it's the most clear and the most close up. So now look again, I'm going directly perpendicular from my first one, going underneath, like in that little fold that I created, and pulling tight. That is creating my blind stitches. So you keep doing this process. You go perpendicular to where your needle and thread came out, run your needle like inside, hidden along the edge of the fold that you gave yourself, and just keep on going until the whole thing is sewn. Once you get to the end, you're gonna knot it off. So, I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. Don't complete the stitch. Before you complete the stitch, put your needle through the hole in the excess of that thread, pull tight, and that's one knot. Now you do the same thing, go back in through the same place before you pull it tight, knot it off, and now just cut off the excess. Now we are going to press it. That's gonna really help that full blind stitch really be blind because it's gonna re-emphasize the folds that we've created with our hands. Now I made a couple extras, which I didn't show because the process was identical, but I'm just pressing all of my edges now that I'm ready to go. And you can see here, that's what the blind stitch looks like. Everything has been folded in and all of the stitches are hidden. So now this is the fun part. We're basically just swapping out our old straps for our new. So use your fingers to feed it into the opening. You can use like a pencil or something if you need help getting it all the way through there. But otherwise, just use your finger, pull it through, make sure that they're even, right and left is even. So on this pair, I thought that I might want to make the whole thing custom by actually wrapping the front strap. If you guys do want to do that, just make sure that you hide the seam on the underneath part with a little bit of fabric glue. All right, so on this pair, pulling everything through, this is my last pair of heels, but I do want to show you guys how I did those flats with the store-bought tie. So you can see here, it's got the slit that allowed me to remove the old strap that it had. And now here is the store-bought necktie. The one thing to note, obviously, is that it comes in a standard size and length. You can't make that custom, but you do want to make sure to buy 2 of them so that they match. But obviously, this makes it a totally no-sew project that literally anybody can do. Just get a store-bought necktie, swap it out, and you're good to go.
I mean, come on, you guys. How easy is that?
The cool thing is that all of these can be interchangeable. Get things that are sort of soft and have beautiful tones that are gonna work really well together, because then you really do like multiply the shoes in your closet tenfold. So I'm gonna try these on right now and show you guys how they look. But before I do that, I wanna tell you about my absolute favorite thing about Squarespace. So they have this whole webinars and videos section on the site, because let's face it, most of us do not know how to build a website on our own. So whatever category you're in, whatever process you're in the building of your site, there's an entire series dedicated to that section so that you can learn how to master it and move on to the next. So for example, once you click on a video, it'll be hosted by like an actual person, which takes you through the process. So this is about how to build a band website. They show you how to upload your own music, how to set tour dates, sell tickets. So you don't have to know how to master website building. All you have to do is go to Squarespace, get 10% off your website by using our promo code and using our link, and you can build your own website and learn how from scratch.
All right. See you in a minute.